Welcome to episode 56 of the Arctic Crafts podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook and Etsy as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. And let's talk about Mals first. The Arctic Summer of Socks started on June 1st. Hopefully you're working on your first socks or your second socks, as the case may be, because if you have single socks lying around and you need the second sock, you're in. And the first prizes will be drawn on June 1st. I was considering showing you the prizes for June in this episode, but I think I'll do it next time. Among other things, because my son is here and he's still asleep, and the prizes are in a box in the spare bedroom, because the spare bedroom is my storage space for the shop, so everything is in there. I might have other things I can't show you because I've forgotten to bring it. It's been kind of crazy around here, and I haven't started the day the way I have gotten used to. I haven't been out for my walk, but because my son is here and he hasn't gotten up yet and it's not too hot yet, I decided I'd film the podcast first and then go for my walk. And that's why I haven't bothered with any makeup, because I know that when I start walking in this heat, no sense in having any makeup on. But let's start talking with about what I'm wearing, because that's one of my FOs. I casted this on 2 days ago and I finished it yesterday, so because this is a really quick knit. This is the V-neck Magpie by Skeinanigans, and it looks perfect over a summer dress. And I have to give Ellie at Skeinanigans a shout out, because I got really confused and about the shoulder panels. It didn't add up for me, so I contacted her and she answered about half an hour later. I got a response. Turns out it was me. I was getting confused. Doesn't happen often, but sometimes I get confused. So nothing wrong with the pattern. It was just me. Probably because I was in a hurry and wanted to finish this. I forgot to tell you what the yarn it is. The top part is Laundry Pile by Punk Rock Unicorn, and the bottom part is September Storm by Yarn Cafe Creations. And as I said, this is cashmere merino nylon blend, and it's really hot, so I'm not sure how much I can manage to wear this summer. And I have a ton of yarn left. This is the Laundry Pile, Punk Rock Unicorn. This is September Storm from Yarn Cafe Creations. And I have, as you can see, I have a lot of yarn left. Actually, I think both of these is enough for a pair of socks, at least a pair of shorties. So I might use it for socks, or I might find myself one skein shawl and stripe it or something. Anyways, the yarn is too pretty, so I have to use the rest of it. And the bag I had this project in is from Jibiru Sews, and I love this fabric. So that is my first FO. This time I have 4 FOs. This one you've seen while it still was a whip. It's Stephen West's Zoolandia. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's a 1 skein shawl, and it's knit in My Spectacular on merino nylon. So this is knit as a sample for the Spectacular colorway. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but I think I'm going to use it because I don't need samples that often, so I can just wash them up if I need to bring them somewhere. And then I have another sweater FO. It's my Deren tee by Jacqueline Cieslak. I'll put in a picture of what it looks like on, because I didn't want to wear this today because I have to figure out what to do with this I-cord. As you can see, it rolls down, so I have to figure out what to do with it. My neighbor suggested to run a thread through the I-cord and then tighten it a bit. I'm going to try that first. The yarn for this is Hobby Twister in the solid range. And the color is just a number, so I can't help you there. But this is also... So if I figure out how to fix the I-cord, I'll be wearing that the next time. So that's my third FO. As you probably can tell, there won't be a lot of whips this time because I have been working on the stuff that I have. I have some whips, but not a lot. Or maybe am I lying? I have some sweaters. These socks I started these a year ago, I think. I finally finished them. I had some leftover self-striping from Nicole C. Mendes, and I just knitted a snake, and then I made a pair of socks out of that. I cut it apart and knit cuffs and toes and an afterthought heel, and I calculated a bit wrong, so these are too big for me, so these are going to my niece. She loves neons and she has bigger feet than me. And that was it for FOs, but not bad. 2 sweaters and a pair of socks and a shawl since the last time I saw you, so that's not bad. And I of course cast on another sweater, why not? So let's talk whips. And this, I've gotten quite far on this one. I'm not sure if you remember, I bought some yarn in Tromsø. Drop snor in this gorgeous color. And one sweater I wanted to knit for a long time is Caitlin Hunter's Baltian. Let's see if I can untangle this so I can show you. Guess who is in the middle of a row? That's really professional of me. So this is the Baltian. Maybe I should show you the back, because then you can see the entire pattern. So it's got this really special construction because it's really wide and it has short sleeves at the end. So I'm not sure what you call that kind of sleeves. I want to call it bat wings. But so this is the top, it's the yoke, and now I have started knitting flat, one color, flat stockinette. So that's maybe the reason why it ended up back in the project bag. And I cast on and knit a V-neck Magpie tendency. So and it's starting to get a bit big. The project is getting a bit big, and it's really warm yarn. So, well, while it's hot like this, I won't be able to knit on it anyway. This is sock knitting weather. There's a reason why I'm doing the Arctic Summer of Socks. The bag this is in is made by my good friend Sue in Canada, and she made me 2 bags this size because I didn't have enough sweater bags, but now I have enough sweater bags. I've also been working a tiny bit on my Ripple Lake cardigan. That's living in my tangled skein bag. Sorry, not tangled skein, tangled stitch. The tangled stitch shop. And in here I have my Ripple Lake. I finished one panel a long time ago. That's one of the panels. So I finished that a long time ago, but I've started the second panel. I'm alternating skeins, so there's a lot of tangles here, but this is the second panel. And this is my yarn. It's Tidal Wave, and this is on a merino base I have discontinued. I had 4 skeins of undyed left, and when I came up with the color Tidal Wave, I just decided that I need to dye up 4 skeins for myself of that because I need a sweater in that color. So that's what I did. As I said, I had 4 undyed skeins left, and I had discontinued the base, so why not use them for something like for me. And today I'm doing this sort of in a rush, so I'm sitting here with my basket next to me where I keep all my projects, all my whips, and I hope I can find them without making too much of a mess. But I actually think that's it for whips. But I finished 2 sweaters and I've started another sweater, so my socks hasn't got a lot of attention so far, but today is a sock knitting day, I think. I'm not knitting on the Baltian, I can guarantee you that. So that's what I have for knitting. This is going to be kind of a short episode, but I'm going to talk a bit more about the Arctic Summer of Socks, I think, at the end of the episode. So it's really hot in here. Air conditioning isn't the thing in Norway, and we live in a greenhouse because that entire wall, almost that entire wall, is windows. So when the sun is on that side of the house in early morning, before noon, it's really hot in here. So when the sun starts going to the other side of the house in the afternoons, it gets a bit better. And as I live in the land of the midnight sun, the sun doesn't set. It doesn't set between mid-May and mid-July. So it's sunny 24/7. If it's nice weather, though, it's of course it can be overcast and it can rain, even though we have the midnight sun. So I was hoping for some rain because I have a few plants that I've put out in the garden. And new plants needs a lot of water, so I've been watering them once a day, but I was hoping for some rain and for the lawn as well, because I have to mow the lawn. Probably I'll have to do that today or tomorrow, and it could use some rain, but it's not a big lawn, and we don't water our lawn. I don't see the point, because it's a tiny lawn, so I can mow it in 10 minutes, so not a big deal. That was a small tangent. I could just go into show and tell, but I could also talk a bit more about Make Along first, the Arctic Summer of Socks. It's going to be a yearly tradition. I made a logo for it and everything, and it's going to be every summer from June 1st until August. I can't say August, apparently. August 31st. And everything socks is allowed. You can crochet them, you can knit them, you can sew them, you can weave them. As long as it's socks and as long as it's bigger than baby or toddler size, because those are, if you knit baby socks, you can knit 10 pairs of baby socks in a couple of days and do 10 entries, and that wouldn't be fair for the other people. So only children's and adult sizes, no babies or toddlers. And somebody asked me if they could knit DK socks, and I'm really thankful that she asked me that, because of course you can knit DK socks. You can knit worsted socks as long as it's socks. And that was Severus Snape. He just wanted to tell you he's here. And he's an indoor cat, so whenever we put up this door and the other door to get a draft through the house to cool it down, he spends that time in our bedroom, and he doesn't mind because he gets to sleep in our bed. So he's just walking around there. The other two cats spend almost the entire day and night outside this time of year. We sort of go get them when we're going to bed, and we're having a lot of late nights really, because late in the evenings the temperature in here starts getting comfortable, and it's tempting to just sit here watching TV until late at night. And as I said, air conditioning isn't a thing in Norway, so we have to figure something out to block the sun, or at least the heat from the sun coming in through those windows. But that's totally not interesting to you, that I live in a greenhouse. And for show and tell today, you know Sue. Well, there's a lot of talk about Sue in this podcast, because she keeps sending me all this wonderful stuff. And so you don't think it's only one way, I keep sending her stuff as well. So both our hobbies kind of tease us a bit about that. I think we kind of, both of us, use it as sort of an excuse. Because whenever I buy myself some yarn, I also buy some for Sue. And that reminds me, I have some. I bought some yarn that I got in the mail yesterday, and I'm going to go get it. And I'm back. I've ordered quite a lot of yarn the last couple of months. A lot of yarn for me, at least. So from time to time, stuff drops into my post box. What I have been ordering is from abroad, so it takes its time getting here, and sometimes it takes so long to get here that I actually forget I've ordered it. But I know my Harry Potter blanket club from Nora George is on its way, so that's something I know about. There's probably more, but anyways, this came rather quickly, because this I ordered from Norway, from a Norwegian web store, and I'll try to hold all of it up at the same time. and it's sock yarn with the barber pulling effect. So I really love this. It was kind of fun. And I love the colors in these. And as you can see, it's the House of Yarn, Gjesdal, and it's called Cool Cookie. And this is, let's see, it's about 400 meters for 100 grams, so it's the exact same weight as my Polldale and Corriedale bases. And this is wool, not merino, it's wool. So this would go really nicely with my Polldale, and I'm considering using excuse me, considering using this as the contrast color in a stranded colorwork sweater. I might do that, but it would look a lot like my one of the hibernating whips or UFOs. But I really love this. I could of course use it for something shifty. We'll see. So that's one of the colors I got, and I got a different color that goes with this color in case I decide on using them together. So this is the colors only have it doesn't have any names. The colors only have numbers. So this is number 205 and this is number 201. I'm showing you these because I'm figuring maybe you can get them abroad. I haven't checked, but House of Yarn is the ones that sell these. And I ordered one more skein, and this is for Sue. I just sent her a link to the page with all the different colors, and she chose this one herself. I probably would have bought this one for her even if I hadn't asked her, because it's got all her favorite colors. So I wasn't surprised that she picked this. So that's what I bought myself that has arrived, and the rest of the stuff I'm showing you is from Sue. One thing she got me was this project bag from the Tangled Stitch with a matching notions pouch. So this she got me from the Tangled Stitch, and Kelly from a Tangled Stitch also sent me prices for the Arctic Summer of Socks, and I bought a bag from her, but both of those things are in my spare bedroom where my son is sleeping. So those will have to wait until the next episode. I'll show you all the prices for all the drawings next time. But there will be 2 prizes in June, 2 prizes in July, and 3 grand prizes in August. But you can, I draw from the entire thread every time. So you can enter anytime and be in on the grand prize drawings at the end of August. And I'm also considering doing a pattern prize or a consolation prize for the chatter thread. So there's quite a lot of chatter already, but I'm considering doing a drawing for the chatter thread as well, instead of doing a drawing on Instagram, because I want people to be active in the chatter group or in the group on Ravelry. And if you're not a member of my group on Ravelry, it's really easy to find. You just write Arctic Crafts in the group tab and it will show up. I forgot to show you what's in the bag because I put the rest of that particular package inside the bag. It's yarn from Comfy Cozy Knits. You have these 2 minis that go really nicely together. I'll probably be saving these for a mini project. And she also sent me this full skein. It's called the Wild One. And look at this beauty. This is very me. It's pink. And that's very me. I think I'm going to hold this. I haven't tried knitting with this is let's see, it's 328 yards for a 50 grams, and I'm thinking I'm going to hold this with a skein of Spectacular and knit a hat or a cowl or something like that, because this is so soft, a lot softer than mohair, so I think this will be really nice in a cowl or a hat. Maybe even too pink for a hat, I think. But I think it will work for a cowl. We'll see. That's a project for later anyway, because I don't need cowls or hats just yet. There's some months until that. Okay, so it starts getting cold again in October, but that's a long time. So this is one of the boxes I got from Zoo. The other one is actually, I just grab it. It doesn't look like much, but it's one of Ginger Snap's self-care boxes, and it's full of goodies. And because I have been rummaging in this, it's not looking that pretty, so I'll just hold stuff up for you. I'll try to hold it up so you can see it. See what I mean? I've been rummaging around in here, so it's difficult to see what everything is, so I'll show you. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of these people. I just want to show you. So in here we have tea from two of my favorite ladies. The ladies of Faking Sanity. There's one that's a raspberry, and this is a caffeinated tea, but it sounds like it would be amazing as cold brew, so I'm going to try making myself a cold brew with this. And this is Pai Chai, and this is caffeine free, and it's rooibos, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, peppercorns, vanilla and cornflowers. It sounds amazing. And that's caffeine free, so I can enjoy that in the evenings. There's also a scented candle. It smells really nice. There was a lip balm in here as well, but that's already in my purse because it was so nice. And I can show you the different and this from the Windy Poplar. It was a jar of bath salts, and I've started using it already. So that's why that Windy Poplar. I had the lip balm in here. It's the Windy Poplar, and that's where the bath salts came from as well. And here's the stuff that's related, bee related. It's the focusing issue. There you go. My name is Lisa Graham, and I mind your beeswax. I love that. And because this is from Ginger Snap, it of course contains this, and this isn't a project bag. It's a bag to use for your toiletries when you're out traveling. I asked my son if he needed one because I have one already. But because it's Ginger Snap, I might use it as a sock bag. Who cares if it's meant for toiletries? And of course this gorgeous skein of yarn, Illumination it's called. It's on their dust fingering weight, really pretty. The reason why I'm holding it in front of the sign is that one of my subscribers told me last time that she thought maybe my focusing problems could be because of that sign, because the camera keeps focusing on that instead of that, what I'm holding in front of the camera. And I hope you can forgive me the rustling, because there were tissue paper in this box. And I forgot to put everything on silent before I started recording, because as I'm saying, this is kind of rushed today, but I think I have shown you everything I wanted to show you. And in case I forgot anything, I can do it next Friday instead. It's one of those days. Can't wait to get outside and go for my walk. But I have to, because I had it's a lot of work getting outside for me, because I had a carcinoma on my face, and the, what you call them in English, dermatologist told me that I had to wear SPF 50 for the rest of my life in summer. So I have to have SPF 50 in my face, down here, on my arms. So lots of work. But then again, I'm not the type that's lying on the decking to get a tan. I never tan. I don't even try. So I'm the kind that goes from pale to pink. I never get a proper tan. So I don't care if I have to wear SPF 50. There's only one thing remaining, and that's showing you what's going into the shop on Sunday. So some shameless self-promotion. And I haven't dyed anything this week, both because my son arrived on Tuesday and because it's a really nice weather this week. And I'm dyeing in my kitchen. So can't be doing that in this heat. And we're only in the beginning of June, so I'm really worried about how much dyeing I get to do this summer. And speaking of that, the start of July, there's a local fair and they're doing a downscale version this year. Because of the pandemic, they're not doing the whole thing. They're doing a downscaled version where the marketplace isn't open as long as it's normally, and it's over a bigger area so that every vendor has a lot of space around them, so people doesn't have to walk on top of each other. Anyways, I'm going to participate in that marketplace. I'm going to vend my yarn there, and I have plenty of yarn in stock, so I don't think that will be a problem. But so that weekend, I think it's the first or second weekend of July. I'll talk more about it later. I'm going to close my shop on Etsy for that weekend, and then put back in the stuff that didn't sell in the marketplace. And I'm also going to start dyeing advents. As soon as my yarn arrives from England, I'm going to start dyeing advents, and hopefully I'll get those out mid-September. Because the first Sunday of Advent is the last Sunday in November, and I have people that have bought the Advent that lives in Australia. So I have to, I think 10 weeks should do it for most places, hopefully. So mid-September is the absolute latest I can send out the Advents, I figured. So mid-September to late November, is that 10 weeks? Suddenly I started to wonder. It's 10 weeks. Maybe I started wondering, do I have to send them out in August? Look, I said it without sounding weird. Maybe I just need to practice saying August. I'll just show you what's going into the shop update, and then I can wrap this up and get going with my day, and hopefully I can finish this before my son gets up. It's kind of early, so I don't think he will get up before I'm finished with this. So we'll start with the spectacular. And this is going into the shop on 2 different bases. It's on merino and polldale. And this is a time-consuming yarn to dye because there's 8 different colors of speckles. So I couldn't call it anything but spectacular, if you ask me. So that's spectacular. I also dyed up some Corriedale. Maybe I should show you all the merino. First, this is also merino, and this is carrot cake. I haven't had that in the shop for a while, but now carrot cake is back. I still have focusing issues. But that's carrot cake, and it's come back to the shop on merino nylon. And I dyed up some Corriedale. This color, my son named this color. I wasn't sure what to call it, but then he saw it and he said sea spray. So that's what we're calling this, sea spray, on Corriedale. Corriedale is perfect for tonals because the colors blend into each other in a really pretty way. This is also on Corriedale. It's also color making a comeback. It's a blackcurrant ice cream. It's kind of the season for ice cream, so even though I don't eat any ice cream this year. So this is a blackcurrant ice cream, also on Corriedale. And I've dyed up some yarn on my 100% merino. I dyed up a sweater quantity of this, or a sweater quantity. When I say I've dyed up a sweater quantity, that means 4 skeins. Because normally I dye up 2 or maximum 3 skeins of the same color, because I'm working in smaller pans. So 3 skeins, so 6 skeins is the absolute max, but not if I'm dyeing semi-solids, because they need a bit of room in the pan. So this color is named, I got the name Peach Rosé, because it's, I was going for a different color, but so this color is a lucky, happy accident, because I love the color. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but it's a really beautiful color, so thankfully I wrote everything down. So this is a repeatable. That's Peach Rosé, and I've dyed up some more polldale. I dyed up a 50 gram plus 20 gram sock set, and this is also a color that I had last summer. Strawberry Pavlova. It's pink and red, and with a red mini, coordinating mini. So that's sock sets on polldale, and I've dyed up this color on polldale. It's my unicorn. What unicorn? It looks light blue in this light, but it's actually a pale lilac color. So that's unicorn. What unicorn? And that's the yarn going into the shop on Sunday. Not a lot, I know, but I have quite a big inventory these days, so there's loads of yarn to choose from in my shop. And I'm not sure how much dyeing I will get done for the next 2 weeks if the weather stays like this. I'm not sure. My son is going to stay with a friend for a couple of days, and if that coincides with a different kind of weather, I might dye those days. It's because I dye in the kitchen and when I have people staying here. Normally I only dye when hubby's at work, so I have the house all to myself. But when I have people staying here, I don't want to make a big mess in the kitchen, and it gets really hot and humid in here when I dye yarn. But my son likes to sleep in, so I could start dyeing in the morning. But then that's when I go for my walk. So, but I don't think I have run any risk of selling out anytime soon. And this is the slowest time of year as well. So May was a good month, but that's because the advent calendars got launched in May. Speaking of advent calendars, I'm going to do another run of those later in the summer, probably during July, from the 1st to the last of July or something. And that would that's only going to be the advent calendars, the 4 Sundays of Advent, the 50 gram skeins, because I ordered enough bags for the orders I already had, because the bags are being made by Michelle from Giberu Sus for the Christmas cast on. So I couldn't wait any longer because she has to make them, she has to send them to me, and with all the possibilities of delays in all that, I can't sell the Christmas cast-ons later this summer. But the 4 skeins of Advent will come up again in July. If you wanted one and couldn't manage to get one in May. So you'll have another chance. There won't be a lot of advent calendars in that, but there will be a chance to get one if you really, really want one. So that's what's happening then. Life stuff. Hubby got his first shot of the Pfizer vaccine last night, and my oldest son, the one staying with us now, he got a confirmation that he's getting his first shot in July and the second shot in October, because he's the group that's at the bottom of the priority list in Norway. He's older than 24 and healthy, because they decided to do the 18 to 24s before the people from 25 to 34, I think it is, because there's a bigger chance of spreading among younger people, and because they have missed out on a lot of stuff because of the pandemic, they decided they wanted to do them first. So they just altered the two down at the bottom of the priority list. I can't speak today, apparently. So I get my second shot 18th, I think it is, and Hobby gets his second shot in July, and then we're actually going to be fully vaccinated, both of us, start of August, and that's when our alone time starts. That's when both of my sons have gone home. My youngest son isn't coming until July 1st, of course, after my eldest son has gone back home. So they too won't meet here this summer, but we're taking my youngest to Tromsø because he loves being in Tromsø, and then we'll get to visit Isak at the same time. So that's life stuff. I'm still nooming, by the way, and it's going great. I'm not going to nag too much about that because it could be a trigger for people, so I'm not going to talk a lot about that. But I'm still doing it. So that's it for this time. Now I'm going to get out of this warm sweater and into my exercise gear, and then go for a long walk and edit this when I get back. So I hope you have a really good weekend. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. If I have, you'll hear from me. If it's really important, I'll just have to do it on Instagram TV. But I hope I haven't forgotten anything. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Or earlier. We'll see. Remember the Arctic summer of socks. Knit socks, people. Knit socks.